Hello, everybody. This is Chris Lee of Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel, joined by Brian Edwards. We're here to preview Florida's road trip to LSU, which you can see at 6:30 Central on ABC. This is the revenge match for LSU after what Florida did to the Tigers last season. But boy, speaking of the Gators, Brian, topic on Florida for a different reason other than rematch with LSU this week after that disaster against South Florida. We'll get into that in a minute. But first of all, what is the total and the line on FanDuel as we're doing this about 3:10 Central on Monday afternoon?
Yeah, so right now LSU is 8.5 at a minus 118 price. The Gators minus 104 if you bet them plus 8.5. The Gators are plus 265 on the money line, and the total is 50.5.
Yeah, the analytical composite I've got put together is only got LSU by about 4.5. But hey, if you watched the Gators last week and the way that one went, you can't feel great about things from a Florida perspective. Brian, the penalties, the mind-boggling decisions, all the stuff with Billy Napier that we thought had been buried is now back.
Absolutely. 11 penalties, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns called back. Nothing fluky about the end result. USF out-yarded Florida 391 to 355. On the game-winning drive, Brendan Bett with an inexplicable spitting 15-yard penalty. USF had 7 tackles for loss. It was a bad day for the Florida Gators.
It really was. LSU didn't have its best week last week, but it was also understandable coming off a road trip to Clemson, which it won. You've got the game against Florida, everybody circled, and in between you've got a game with the hungry Louisiana Tech team, which isn't bad, one of the better teams in Conference USA, in an in-state game. I don't know what we learned from LSU last week, that the numbers weren't great. The defense, though, has been really, really good. LSU so far looking like one of the best defenses in the SEC, and the offense, as we know, has got tons of talent.
They do. They've got to be a little concerned about the O-line, though, because, Caden Durham has not been able to get going. Only 103 rushing yards on 30 attempts, 2 touchdowns, but a 3.4 yards per carry average. Now, I didn't watch any of their game the other night, so I don't know if it was the O-line or if it was on Durham. I would suspect it was more O-line, because I love this kid. I mean, he had a fantastic freshman year, and it'll be key which team can get the running game going this week.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage in this is fascinating because LSU, we knew, was going to have a tough task going into the opener with 2 new tackles. Again, last week, I can explain it. I didn't get to see it, but 4.9 yards of play was kind of astonishing given the talent that LSU's got. But Florida has given up 18 tackles for loss as an offensive line, which is also astonishing given Jake Slaughter and Austin Barber and all those guys. So I think the line of scrimmage will be something we'll be watching for both sides here.
Yeah, no doubt. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Florida's L.J. McCray had foot surgery, today, so he's going to be out for a while. They haven't said season ending, but out indefinitely.
No.
And Caleb Banks, who was preseason All-American in a lot of publications coming into the year, he still hasn't played in the first 2 games. They're optimistic that they'll have him this week. We'll see. The injury report comes out on Wednesday. But Banks is a big part of Florida's run defense. It'll be a big lift if they can get him back. And then it doesn't have to do with the trenches like we're talking about, but it's going to be a big lift if Dallas Wilson, the true freshman, can get back this week. He had a lower body injury in early August and has missed the first 2 games. He's listed questionable. I think he's going to be an absolute star. So those are 2 key injuries to watch for Florida this week with Banks and Wilson.
LSU, anything on the health there? I mean, that defense has been, I think, terrific so far. 2 All-American linebackers. Harold Perkins look more like the old Harold Perkins, I guess. Some talent all the way around. There's some talk of DBU University coming back, a defensive back university that is. I mean, again, LSU, I didn't expect – I thought the defense would be better. I didn't expect it might be the stronger of the two units through 2 games.
Yeah, so I saw that LSU tight end Trey'Dez Green is listed as questionable. He's a 6'7" guy. He's not the starter, but he's the backup that they like to target in the red zone a lot. He had 13 catches for 101 yards last year, but 4 of his 13 catches were touchdowns. And so far this year, 2 receptions, 17 yards, and 1 touchdown. But that was about all I saw on injuries, but obviously we'll know more Wednesday night.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten to the quarterbacks yet. Garrett Nussmeier, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, a Heisman favorite. I think DJ Lagway's numbers probably had some damage done to them for the Heisman last week with the loss to South Florida. But 2 quarterbacks who can generate a lot of big plays and who have very, very capable receiving cores with them.
Yeah, and Florida's wide receiver core will get a lot better when Dallas Wilson is ready. But Vernell Brown, the other freshman, continues to play well. And I'm pulling up right now the QBR stats for, let's see, for the SEC. And DJ Lagway is 8th in the SEC, and Nussmeier, oh gosh, it's got him all the way down here. Is that right? Yeah, it's got him 14th. Yeah, only 2 touchdown passes from him so far. 1 interception, completing 68.4% of his passes for 469. Lagway has completed 74.5% of his passes, but only 342 yards, 4-to-1 TDI and T ratio. But he had a man open for a touchdown the other night and missed him, and that was one play that really stood out to me. So I don't think he's played his best yet, but maybe he'll have a better performance this week.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in that passer rating because I think, again,
Right.
You could sort of explain last week and you could also explain week 1. I think controlling the tempo is going to be an interesting thing. Florida, I guess, kind of lost in the carnage of last week is that it's been good against the run on true run plays. 1.3 yards in the opener against an awful LIU team. And in South Florida, 3.7 yards per pure rushing attempt. And only 5.4 per play. It wasn't the defense that really lost Florida that game, at least from an execution standpoint. LSU, the defense has been tremendous so far. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, but here are your numbers through a couple of games. 4.5 yards a play against Clemson, 2.9 against Louisiana Tech. Per rushing play, 2.9 against Clemson and 2.7. Again, both teams are going to try to run the ball to establish some tempo there, but both fronts have been really good about stopping that so far.
Yeah, I didn't think Napier ran the ball enough the other night. Jadan Baugh was running it well, 18 carries, 93 yards. I wanted him getting more touches, especially at crunch time. It was just a miserable performance by Napier and his staff. When Brown hit the 66-yard touchdown pass, we had guys coming off the field. The entire D-line is looking at the sidelines for the play call, and the ball gets snapped, and it's a free play because there's like 13 men on the field. So obviously Brown takes a shot down the field and wisely did so and connects for a touchdown. Yeah, pretty deplorable.
I knew you'd have an opinion on that. Let's get into further opinions with the picks in a minute. I have a feeling I know where we're going, but we'll figure it out in a minute. We're brought to you by GameTimeSidekicks.com, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, 350 other universities, stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups. SE16 gets you 20% off your entire order at Game Time Sidekicks. Rockform, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, Rock Lock secure mounting. September is the busiest month of the year with the new iPhone release. SEC 25 gets you 25% off your entire order at rockform.com, ROKFORM.com. And then Hovey Dry Goods, your new favorite hat. Look no further than Hovey hats for high-quality headwear with new fit and unique designs. Bad beat team of the week is Ole Miss, which caught one on the back end, a field goal that kept the Rebels from covering. So your promo code this week is Rebs, REBS. That'll get you, I think, a 20% discount or so off your favorite or whatever hat order you put in at Hovey Dry Goods. That's HOVI, drygoods.com. You'll love their stuff too. Okay, Brian, picks. Look.
Hey, what did you make? What did you make the line?
The computer model I've got put together has got LSU by 4.5, and it's just a composite of some mainstream things. So, like, I think you've got the visceral reaction to whatever Florida, did or didn't do last week in this case. So I think that's built in, plus the revenge factor.
Right. So I made the line 7. I lean Florida. But I'm not going to bet it until I see Wednesday's injury report, see what Caleb Banks' status is. I think if Banks and Wilson play, that Florida will cover this, and I think it'll be a 60-minute battle that goes down to the wire. Here's some just betting stats. While at Florida, Napier 6-3 against the spread as a road underdog, 14-10 against the spread overall in 24 games as an underdog, and his entire coaching career going back to Lafayette, 26-14-1 against the spread as an underdog, and as a home favorite under Brian Kelly, LSU is 11-6-1 against the spread. I'll mention that 9 of the last 15 head-to-head meetings have been one-possession games. So I'm actually going to pick Florida. I'm going to pick Florida, catching the points, hoping for a bounce-back performance, and hopeful to get a couple of very important players back on the field.
Who have you got outright?
Right now, LSU. If I feel really confident about Banks and Wilson playing, I would consider picking the upset, but I doubt it. I'm thinking LSU is going to win a 28-24 type of game.
Yeah. I've been bigger on Billy Napier than most, even when he struggled. I like the culture he's built. You could see the resiliency last week, or excuse me, in the offseason, the documentary. And so he's got some experience handling this, but this feels like a bad spot for them. LSU, which has got some confidence, that stadium will be lit given what happened last year. Hey, Billy Napier fell out of the tree of trust for me a little bit last week and hit a few branches on the way down. I need to see a little bit more before the Gators for them before I can go there in this one. But can't wait to see it, Brian. This will be an elite matchup with elite athletes.
Yeah, I can't wait as well. One of my favorite rivalries, and I just hope we get a good game. I think we will. So you're thinking LSU is going to cover and win? Obviously, I know you think they're.
I don't know about cover, but win.
Okay.
I don't really do a lot with lines and stuff, but
Gotcha.
I would defer to you on that, my man. So
well, hopefully the Gators will cover. We shall see.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back to break it down when it's over on our Saturday night reaction show. Hope you will catch that. For Brian Edwards, I'm Chris Lee. God bless you. Thanks for watching. This has been Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel.